Oh, guys, y'all. Sherri Shepherd said that Oprah Winfrey called her to give her advice for her new talk show. It was reported that Oprah told her it is not about the ratings, it is about the energy. Y'all, I hope that Sherri can bring on that energy like Wendy did. Y'all, I know Wendy is heartbroken. It seems like everyone's just moving on as though she never existed. I love Wendy, guys. Tell me what you think below.
I want to learn how to fucking use my air fryer. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. I want to do stuff that I give a fuck about. I want to have musicians on that nobody knows. I want to have comedians on that deserve some television time. I want, like there used to be a show years ago, y'all probably wasn't even born, called Playboy After Dark. It was Hugh Hefner's show. And it was very loose, very cool, very jazzy. I want my show to be like that. Nothing like this walk out, do a monologue, sit behind the desk, interview. I don't want to do it like that. And I want to be right up there. I want to do like Kimmel. Film at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, have it come on at 11 o'clock at night. And I don't want to be on no damn Hulu with some shit that you can't find. I want to be on there where people can find it. But it is not written in stone that Sherri Shepherd is replacing Wendy. There is no replacing Wendy, right? Right.
You ever looked in my eye not one time?
No, shit. You know why. We are on TV.
I want to tell you, mean that.
Yeah, I love you back. You're a siren.
My goal right now, and the priority is to get her back home. Wherever home is, not there. Which come go as she pleases.
Right here in New York where I'm working, and you know what kind of stuff I want to do. As a matter of fact, we just met somebody very familiar with, well.
She wants to get back to work, and she should get back to work.
Right.
People love her. I get more calls in support of her than I've ever had for any client, ever.
Daytime television might be on the verge of one of its most dramatic shakeups in years. For months, rumors had been quietly floating around Hollywood about tension behind the scenes of daytime talk shows. But when the news finally dropped that Sherri Shepherd's show Sherri would not continue into another season, the internet exploded with questions. Because the cancellation didn't just feel like a routine business decision. Almost immediately, whispers started spreading that the real story might be much bigger. Some insiders claim this move could clear the path for a shocking comeback by the former queen of daytime television, Wendy Williams. And if that rumor turns out to be true, it could completely reshape the daytime TV landscape again. But here's the twist. The situation surrounding Sherri's cancellation may involve more than ratings or scheduling. Some fans believe there were tensions behind the scenes. Others think the network simply saw a bigger opportunity waiting in the wings. Either way, what's happening now feels less like a cancellation and more like the opening move in a much larger industry shakeup. And once you start looking at the timeline closely, the situation becomes even harder to ignore. When the official announcement came out, the explanation sounded polished and professional. Executives behind Sherri said the decision was driven by the evolving daytime television landscape. On the surface, that sounds like standard industry language. Networks often use phrases like that when shows come to an end. But longtime viewers immediately noticed something strange. The show wasn't collapsing. Ratings weren't spectacular, but they were steady. The program still had loyal viewers and strong audience engagement in several markets. In fact, the show had built a consistent daytime following over multiple seasons. So naturally, people started asking the obvious question. If the show was stable, why pull the plug now? That question only grew louder when fans realized something else. Behind the scenes, the show was reportedly still profitable. Production costs were manageable, advertisers were still buying spots, and the program had carved out a recognizable identity in the daytime lineup, which made the sudden decision feel even more confusing. In Hollywood, cancellations usually come with warning signs. Ratings collapse, advertisers leave, contracts expire. But in this case, the shutdown seemed to arrive almost out of nowhere. And that's exactly why people started digging deeper. Because sometimes the real reason behind a cancellation doesn't appear in the official statement. What really fueled the speculation wasn't just the cancellation itself. It was the way the news reached the public. Many fans didn't hear it from Sherri directly. Instead, they discovered it through media reports and industry articles first. That alone rubbed some viewers the wrong way. After all, Sherri appeared on television almost every day speaking directly to her audience. People expected the news to come from her personally. For a talk show host, that connection with viewers is everything. When fans tune in daily, they feel like they know you. So learning about the show's fate through headlines instead of the host felt unusual. In the world of television, the rollout of major announcements is usually carefully planned. Networks coordinate with talent, so the message feels smooth and respectful. But this time, the timing felt messy. And when the host herself later addressed the situation, many viewers noticed something else. Her reaction felt emotional, almost like the decision caught her off guard too. That moment alone triggered a new wave of speculation online. Was she blindsided? Or was there a deeper story behind the scenes that viewers weren't hearing yet? Because the more people looked at the situation, the more rumors started surfacing about what might have been happening behind studio doors. Hollywood insiders love a good behind-the-scenes story, and this situation quickly became one of the most talked-about topics in daytime television circles. According to several reports, there may have been contract discussions happening long before the cancellation announcement. Some sources claimed negotiations included a possible pay raise and adjustments to the show's production schedule. The idea was allegedly to tape multiple episodes in one sitting, which could free up time for other projects outside the talk show world. On paper, that kind of arrangement isn't unusual. Many hosts balance television with acting roles, producing gigs, or other media ventures. But if negotiations become complicated, relationships between talent and networks can cool quickly. And once those relationships start shifting, decisions can happen fast. Some insiders even suggested that the energy behind the scenes had changed during the last year of the show's run. Nothing publicly confirmed, but enough whispers circulated that industry watchers started paying attention. Still, even if negotiations became difficult, that alone might not explain the sudden cancellation. Because around the same time these rumors were floating around, another name quietly started reappearing in conversations about daytime television. And that name changed everything. For more than a decade, Wendy Williams dominated daytime television with The Wendy Williams Show. Her format was simple but powerful: bold celebrity gossip, unfiltered opinions, and a personality that felt unpredictable enough to keep viewers glued to the screen. Love her or hate her, one thing was undeniable: Wendy had an audience. At its peak, her show became one of the most recognizable talk shows on daytime TV. The catchphrases, the hot topics segment, the audience reactions. It all became part of pop culture. But when Wendy stepped away from the spotlight due to health struggles, the future of that daytime slot became uncertain. Eventually, Sherri Shepherd stepped in and launched her own show in the same general space. For a while, it looked like a smooth transition. But longtime fans never completely stopped asking the same question: would Wendy ever come back? Now that question is louder than ever. Because if industry rumors are accurate, producers might believe Wendy still has the kind of name recognition that can instantly reignite ratings. And if networks truly believe a comeback could bring a surge of attention, the temptation to bring her back might be impossible to ignore. Of course, a comeback isn't just about ratings. Wendy's personal life has changed dramatically since she last hosted a daily show. In 2022, she was placed under a financial guardianship that limited her control over personal and business decisions. The situation sparked widespread debate online. Many fans wondered how someone known for being outspoken and independent could suddenly lose control over her own finances. But Wendy hasn't stayed silent about it. In several interviews, she has openly questioned why the guardianship remains in place. She has repeatedly insisted that she feels capable of managing her own life and career. At one point, she even revealed that she had passed cognitive evaluations meant to assess her decision-making abilities. Moments like that quickly went viral. Fans watching those interviews saw glimpses of the same confident personality that once dominated daytime television. And for many supporters, it only strengthened the belief that Wendy might eventually reclaim her place on screen. Still, even if she regains full independence, returning to television isn't as simple as signing a contract, because there's another complication quietly lurking in the background. If Wendy truly does make a return to daytime television, it could trigger a major financial clause tied to her past. During her divorce from Kevin Hunter, reports suggested that spousal support payments were connected to her employment status in television. In simple terms, if she returns to a TV hosting role, certain financial obligations could resume. That creates an interesting strategic dilemma. On one hand, a successful talk show comeback could bring massive earnings, sponsorships, and renewed fame. On the other hand, it could also reopen financial commitments she may prefer to avoid. For someone as business savvy as Wendy, that decision likely involves careful planning. And if she is seriously considering a return, there's a good chance those financial details are already being discussed behind closed doors. Which leads to the biggest question everyone is asking right now. The internet has already divided itself into two camps. One side believes the cancellation of Sherri is simply the result of shifting economics in daytime television. Viewership habits are changing, streaming platforms are expanding, and networks are constantly adjusting their strategies. From that perspective, the decision could be purely business. But the other side believes something else may be happening. They think the timing is too convenient. First, the cancellation, then renewed discussions about Wendy's future, then fresh attention on her fight to regain independence. When those pieces appear close together, some fans believe the industry might be quietly preparing for a dramatic return. Of course, no network executive has confirmed anything yet. But in the entertainment world, major comebacks often begin exactly like this, with whispers long before the official announcement. Right now, the future of daytime television feels wide open. Sherri Shepherd built a show that found its audience and carved out its own space in the talk show world. Even if her daytime run is ending, her career in entertainment is far from over. Opportunities in streaming, acting, and other media are always evolving. Meanwhile, the possibility of Wendy Williams returning continues to spark huge reactions online. Whether people loved her bold style or criticized her controversies, there's no denying she left a massive imprint on daytime TV. And if she truly does step back into the spotlight, it could be one of the most talked about television comebacks in years. For now, though, the real story may still be unfolding behind closed doors. Networks are watching the audience, producers are weighing their options, and fans are waiting to see what happens next. Because if there's one thing daytime television has always thrived on, it's drama. And this story might just be getting started. So the real question is, do you think this cancellation was simply business as usual? Or was it the first sign that a major comeback is already in motion?